How's it going, everybody? Doing a drink review here today, and then I'm going to be doing a gum chewing Super Famicom collection. I've got 14 games for it. I figured I'd show them. I haven't done any kind of collection related stuff, at least video games, in a little bit, maybe like a month. I think the Super Nintendo was the last one, so we'll do the Japanese counterpart here, and I'll get to that in a few minutes, but I will be reviewing the Olipop peaches and cream soda that I had I had gotten from, where did this come from? Food Lion. It was in the haul video. I forgot where I got it from. They've got a lot of flavors of these now. I may have reviewed this. It would have been since we've been down here. I can't remember. It doesn't taste familiar, but that would have been probably like a year ago. It's not bad. It's got a nice little peach taste to it. You get the cream in there too, but I think the peach is the stronger taste. It isn't bad. Once again, it tastes like a diet. You know, he's got 50 calories in him, a little bit of sugars. They're not bad, these. I think it's Olipop that has like a 6 or an 8 pack or something that you can buy of each flavor. Well, I don't know if it's every flavor. They got a decent amount. They got it's like all equivalents except not like this. And they have the apple one. I think I did recently, right? Was that them? They got a cherry one and a regular one. It's pretty good. The problem is these single cans are like $2.80 a piece, so decent alternative though. It supports digestive health, or so they say. It's not bad though. Trying to think of what I'd go on this. I'd probably go an 8. I do like it. I don't know if I've ever, well, unless I reviewed this twice. I don't know if I've ever done these. Like, I've never had these repeatedly. I said they're $2.80 a can, so. I want to say they have 8 packs of these, and maybe it's only 4. It's 4 to 8. In Walmart, I've seen them. I don't know how much they are, though. It's probably going to be like $8-9. But yeah, I'll go an 8 on this peaches and cream. Olipop soda. Not bad. It's pretty good. It's got a nice peach taste. You get the cream in there as well. It's not bad. Oh, you're probably hearing that beeping outside. Some kind of truck is backing up somewhere. As it gets closer. Alright, let's start with the Famicom, Super Famicom, sorry. I do want to collect more of these, and I go on a little run. The last time I got a big batch was when I was up in New York in May. I probably did a pickup on them. The first one is Final Fight 2. Good beat 'em up game. You got, I forget who you're using this one. Outside of Hager, this dude is that Guy or Cody. I can't remember the woman's name. The reason I got this once again was because it's like a third of the price of the North American one, so, and it's completely playable. Like, you don't have to worry about it if you can't read the Japanese because it's a beat 'em up, you know, which is nice because, like I said, they're a lot cheaper. And this one's really good too. I don't know if I did a gameplay on this. I may have. like I said, I do want to pick up more of these because I want to like learn to read it more or figure out a way to kind of play. Because the Final Fantasies, the Dragon Quests, Secret of Mana, stuff like that, Illusion of Gaia, all that stuff, is so much cheaper. Like you can get Final Fantasy VI, even though I have it on that thing. But still, it'd be nice to have it for the system, right? On a card thing. It's like $7. Final Fantasy VI or 3, whatever you want to call it. Well, it was 6. I'd be getting the 6. Here it was 3 originally. If I want to get that for the Super Nintendo, it's like the card only is probably like $55-$60. And I could be going cheap there. Next one here is Super Bonk. This is another one that's much cheaper. US, this Hudson started. These originally came out on TurboGrafx. I had them. This and Bonk's Revenge, or the TurboGrafx. Well, not this. The first and Bonk's Revenge for the TurboGrafx, and there's also like Airzonk, I think, and there might have been a third one on the TurboGrafx, and then they start pumping them out elsewhere. This is just Super Bonks. I played some of this. This is a super fun game. Like, it's crazy. Like, on a plane at first. Like, you're doing Bonk stuff. It was TurboGrafx, pretty much mascot. But it was fun to play, and once again, completely playable. Donkey Kong 2. Oh, I forget what this one's called. It was Super Donkey Kong 2. It was not called. It was called Donkey Kong Country here. I can't remember what the Dixie's Double Trouble or something, I think, was the third one. I can't remember what this one was called here, but these are fun. I never played these back when they came out. I think the first one came out like 94, so I was kind of not super into the game. I was like in a little bit of a, like, not caring about games at that point. I was playing Final Fantasy 3 and a few things, but not going nuts. And that was probably like the last Super Nintendo game I got, maybe outside of a sport game. So I never played these back then. They had a cool look to them back then. These were made by Rare. And they were pretty fun platformers, honestly. I did play some of this one. This is a dodgeball. I don't know if it's Super Dodgeball. I forget the full name of it. But it's fun. It's like the one on the NES. Techno's made this. They've made other ones too, I think, like baseball games. They're all in like the same. It was a Kunio-kun thing. I forget what it was. They're all in the same world, like River City Ransom and stuff. They all take place in like the same world, but they're super fun. These dodgeball games are fun as hell to play. Disney and Donald, Magical Quest 3. These are also fun platformers. There's a lot of like Mickey Mouse, Donald, Goofy. I think there was a Goofy. Was it like Goof Troop or something game? I forget what it was called. Back then, you had a lot of on the Genesis as well, and the NES, but the Genesis, Super Nintendo, started to pump out a lot of them. These were made by Capcom. The ones on the Genesis, I think, were just straight up like Castle of Illusion and World of Illusion. I think were just made by Sega. But they were all fun, and they looked really nice. Once again, a game that's just cheaper. This version. Tecmo Super Bowl 2. Another one. This is completely in English, too. Everything, like when you play the game. There's another game like this one. The versions here, even on the Genesis and the Super Nintendo, are like $50-$60. This was like a little under 20, I believe. It's Tecmo Bowl. The best one still, I think, is Tecmo Super Bowl. On the Genesis or Super Nintendo, the one on the NES, Tecmo Super Bowl, is incredible as well. That's a lot of people's favorites out of all of them. I gotta lean towards the Genesis Super Nintendo ones a little more, but they're all cool. The 2 and 3 kind of, the graphics changed a little bit. But you know Tecmo Bowl, it's Tecmo Bowl. You all teams. You have a lot of fun. It keeps the stats and stuff. You can simulate full seasons. You can play as everybody, or if you want, you versus the computer, computer versus the computer. I think you can just coach and pick the plays. This is Goemon, Legend of the Mystical Ninja. These are one of the ones I got from Book Off because they were so cheap. $9 on this one, which is once again cheaper than you're getting the version here. I played some of this. It was fun. It looked really nice. This one a little more tougher. It is like a beat 'em up kind of platformer, but it's a little more text driven. So a lot of these are in good shape on the back. Super Famicom cassette. That's what people used to say back in the day, especially like kids my age, people my age, or you could be 10 years younger, 10 years older. If you had the NES, a lot of parents called them Nintendo tapes. Get your Nintendo tapes. Yoshi's Island, another one. Like I said, $9 a book off. It's gonna cost you probably like $30, $35. Let's check real quick and see. I'm curious now. Come on. It isn't $9, I'll tell you that much. I've never played this game, honestly. I'm not going to pick it up. I think they redid it for maybe the regular DS or the 3DS or one of the DS's. I think it's officially like Mario World 3. Super Mario World 2 is what it is. Yeah, $40 for a loose copy here. $35. Anywhere from like 30, let's say 31 or 30 even. 30, 31 to 45. I'm saying loose, but $89. Once again, completely playable. Has a nice kind of hand-drawn look to it. This one with Baby Mario. And of course, and this one I just got because we have it elsewhere. Super Mario World, this was $9. This is slightly cheaper than, you can get this game like $15 to $20 on the Super Nintendo. It's a classic. It's Super Mario World, completely playable again. Just a fantastic game. A lot of people's favorite in the series. This is probably the top, like one of the 5. Like, I think I mentioned in another video. I think I said 10 games, but either way, this is the top like 3 in reality game you think of when you think of the Super Nintendo. Just the look of it, the feel, everything, just screams Super Nintendo. It's incredible. It's an incredible game. Great music. Everything's like evolved from Super Mario Bros. 3 at that point. You know how 3 like evolved. Although 2 was its own thing because it was like a reskin of another game, and Japan was a Doki Doki Panic. But fun stuff, and you can find the secret areas and stuff like that. I forget what they were, the little exclamation point blocks and stuff. There's usually like a hidden passage out of a level. You gotta do something weird or something. This is Sailor Moon. You wouldn't need to know what it was. I don't know if I've probably seen some Sailor Moon when I was a kid, but you would just know. I feel like Sailor Moon's something you just recognize, even if you're like not into it or you didn't watch it, or I guess there's books or manga too, right? My fiance likes Sailor Moon a lot. But another one is $9. I don't think any of these games came out over here. I think they might have come out in Europe and obviously Japan. I wonder what that means. Is that someone's name, maybe? I think it might be. This is a beat 'em up, Sailor Moon beat 'em up. It's pretty fun too. You could use all the different Sailor Moons. What is it, like Neptune, Mars, Venus? It was fun. It looks nice. It's a beat 'em up. Like I said, part of the reason I got it because I'm like, what is this game about? I wanted to look up Sailor Moon games. I think there's a puzzle game too, but it's like beat 'em ups are fun in this era. So I grabbed it, and it was pretty fun. Poppin' Twin B. All these, no, the last two I'm going to show did not come from Book Off, but another one, $9. Poppin' Twin B. What was Twin B? What was it called? The original on the NES. I don't know if it had a different title. I think it did. These are. This one is. It's like it was a vertical shooter. It's not a side-scrolling shooter. It's a vertical one where you just go and keep moving forward, and you use the Twin B things, and you're dropping bombs, shooting stuff. The enemies are kind of, I don't know if they are like eggplants and stuff. I can't remember. I did play some of this. It's fun. I gotta see what it was called on the NES though. I feel like it had a different name. Maybe not. Queued 'em up. That's what they call this genre. This and Sega's Fantasy Zone says here. Vertically scrolling shooter. Yes, alright. So, did it not have a different name? Maybe it was Twin B. Guess it was. I thought it had a different name. I'm completely wrong though. Another Konami developed game. Konami made a lot of good stuff back in the day. They're bouncing back a little bit now, but they went through a one where they just did not bother making games. But people forget, or you're not old enough to, you weren't born. They were popping out a ton of, no pun intended, great games in the NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis era, PlayStation as well. Realistically, up until like PS2, Xbox. No, I feel like they're still getting stuff out in the 360 era too. Anyway, cool vertical shooter. And here's this is the Rainbow Bell Adventure. This one was $19, but I had to get it. This is also this is just cheaper. If you want to buy this on eBay, it's more than $19. It's like $30. This is a 3D platformer, and you use the Twin B things. It's pretty fun. There's like an overworld map and stuff. I did play some of this. A little more text heavy as well, so you gotta it's a little harder to navigate if you don't know what you're reading. Same thing though, bright and colorful. The final two, the best two. Some of my favorite games on the system. Area 88, here it was UN Squadron. Another game that I got because it's cheaper. This is not, you can get this game for like $35 on the Super Nintendo, $35. This one I want to say was under 20. It might have been like 15 to 18. This game is one of my favorite games of all time. I've talked about this game a ton. And I watched the anime somewhat recently because it's based off an anime. Manga. It's pretty good anime. It's intense. I think it was in the 80s. But this is a side-scrolling shooter. There's 3 people you can choose from, 3 planes. This one, he might be, is this Mickey Skyman? Here, I forget their names. Fun as hell. Once again, you don't need to know. You don't have to be able to read the text. It's just you can buy upgrades for your planes. You're getting money. Even when you die, your money still goes there. And you can do bombing runs occasionally to get more money. It's almost like a side quest type thing. And you can choose different things because the enemy's coming at you. And you can go after different sections earlier than others if you want. You don't have to do it in a specific order. It gets hard as shit. As always with these shoot 'em ups. I've done some gameplay of this, I believe. I used to be really good at it. I'm not nearly as good at it as I was. But still fun. And then you buy a better plane. You're buying special, each plane you can get different special weapons that you can buy and stuff. It's just super fun, man. Cool bosses and stuff too. There's like submarines, big stealth bombers, boats, giant bases you gotta fight, like aircraft carriers, no destroyer. It's incredible. And the soundtrack in this game is one of the best. best. The soundtrack in this game. Look at this. The soundtrack for this game up. UN Squadron Area 88 on YouTube. I watched some videos of a guy that does these. A lot of people do these guitar covers of these old soundtracks. It's awesome too. But the soundtrack for this is incredible. Area 88 UN Squadron. And the last one, another favorite of mine, which it's more text heavy, but thankfully I was able to figure out a few things. But it is ActRaiser. A lot of people know ActRaiser. It's a classic. The second one, unfortunately, this game was like a simulation slash action adventure platformer. You come down from like the heavens and you do your action missions. You're just side scrolling along, wailing on enemies and stuff. You beat the boss. Then you play a little angel, and you're in the Sim City type area where you gotta get people to come in. You're building houses and stuff. You gotta keep other enemies away, so you shoot little arrows with this angel or cherub or whatever, and you gotta kill them while building up the area. And that's where you have to do certain things while talking to the townspeople. So that's where you kind of need to know. I'm like, oh, okay, and you kind of can figure it out. If you can't read it, you can kind of figure it out. You can look it up too. It's not that could be big of a deal. And then you find a new area where you go to, and you do the next area, and then you got to build up that area, population and stuff. It's actually really cool. It's an incredible game. I know they remade it. I never played the remake. It's Renaissance, I think. I think some people are kind of down on it. They didn't hate it, but it's hard to match the original. And then the second one, while still a good game, is just a platformer. It's just an action adventure. The world building stuff's gone. Another game with an incredible soundtrack. It's what's his name? Yuzuko. I forget his name. I'm gonna say it wrong. He did the Revenge of Shinobi soundtrack, which is incredible. He did this. He's done a lot of soundtracks. I'm probably still doing them. I think he's did stuff on the DS and shit too. He's been around for a while. Koshiro or something. This was Enix. This was made by Enix before they merged with Square and became Square Enix. Enix put out a ton of good shit. Obviously, Squaresoft made a ton of good shit, and they merged. I think Enix is the one that absorbed them. But Enix did Dragon Warrior, Dragon Quest, I believe. Obviously, Final Fantasy and shit is coming from, and a ton of other stuff's coming from Square, and a ton of other stuff comes from these guys too. But now, obviously, they've been together since I go to. I think Final Fantasy X was still Squaresoft. I'm not sure if 10-2 still was or not. Either way, ActRaiser is incredible. Play it if you haven't. There's another one that I got for, I think, like $11, and it sells for like $35-40 on the Super Nintendo. So you go, as long as it's playable, it's better to go the cheaper route. I do want to get more Super Famicom games though, because they're cheaper. I like the way they look too. So they don't have the top that the North American ones do, and I think the PAL versions, I believe, have the top as well. Although maybe they don't. The PAL versions may have the same shape cartridge as this, and they have a different shape with the Super Nintendo one. With the North American cartridges compared to everywhere else. I think I'm pretty sure, yes, the PAL versions are like this. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah. And they all play on the Famicom, the Retron 3. Like I said, I want to collect more. By the way, 8 out of 10 on this Peaches and Cream Lollipop, so it's solid. I do want to get more because they're cheap. I'm still, I think, just going to buy some of the RPGs and just say, screw it. I'm going to try to figure it out. Learn how to read it. Or do some stuff online and shit like that. Who knows? Because I know that Retron 5, I think you can download like the patches, like the English patches to the games onto the thing. But I don't have Retron 5, so. But there are some other games I would like to still pick up for this system. I got 14. I think I have the same amount.